Partnerships are vital to our global outreach, enabling us to take the love and hope of Jesus Christ to those who need it most. Our Boots on the Ground Partnership Program physically ministers to those in desperate situations all over the world. The Israel Partnership furthers Kim's legacy of outreach to Israel and Jewish people worldwide. We invite you to become a partner today. Join us today and be part of a community that inspires hope, brings restoration to life, and often healing from the past. Together, we can make a difference, and we thank you for your ongoing support.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome to Israel Update. I am so honored to be standing here with my friend Kobe, and Kobe is a student here at USC, and he has gone through the most insane things. You know, we've seen all this stuff on the news, we've seen what's going on, and this guy right here has lived through it. So here we stand, South African, Lebanese, Christian Zionist, and an Israeli American Zionist, and I love that. So here we are. So Kobe, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Now, Kobe's been invited to go speak at the White House at a roundtable, which I think is incredible. And so why don't you just tell the viewers what it's been like and what you've seen and what you've gone through being on campus, studying here at USC, and what you've experienced in terms of anti-Semitism with all these riots going on.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, ever since the October 7th attack, Hamas's attack on October 7th on Israel, we've seen a few protests every now and then that have been primarily peaceful, but since everything started actually in Colombia, and now last week it began here at USC, these protests have kind of just escalated into an entirely new level that have created a dangerous and chaotic environment here at USC it's making not even just Jewish students, but just everybody student unsafe. There's and in regards to anti-Semitism, these protests, what they chant for, like chants such as "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," which was federally deemed as anti-Semitic.
As it is.
Like earlier this month and still after. I mean, even today, right while we're interviewing right now, they have signs that say "From the river to the sea," filled with art and decorations, glorifying this phrase that is that calls for the death of so many innocent Israelis who are trying to fight fire with fire. And on top of that, they're trying to, I actually heard them the other day, all come all together to call to globalize the Intifada. And in my hopes is that they don't really understand what an Intifada is, because previous Intifadas has led to suicide bombers across the state of Israel, has killed many people. It's uprising, but it's a terrorist uprising.
It's a terrorist uprising.
So many terrorist attacks, and these students are chanting to globalize it. And as a Jewish Israeli student, it honestly makes me want to throw up. Like just looking at it and hearing at it. It's very hard to walk past it and hear it.
I can't imagine. And you know what Kobe's going through. We met at an event in LA a couple months ago, and we followed each other on Instagram. What happened was we were standing in this long line to get a picture, some dumb picture. I saw his necklace, he saw my tattoos, and what he did is he hugged me and said, "Mishpachim, family." And I was like, yes, that's exactly how it feels. And it felt like a definite, it was ordained, I think, that we were supposed to meet, because watching what he's doing for Israel, this guy, I've seen footage of it, people in his face yelling, screaming, and him standing there. I've seen him jumping around with an Israeli flag on his shoulders, and I looked for mine. I was ready to come here wearing an Israeli flag cape. You know, I'm from Africa, man, like protesters, I'm like, whatever, I'm ready to go. But just looking at it, you know, we've spoken about this so much on the show, we've spoken about this so much for so many years, and what we're seeing right now is levels of anti-Semitism that rival what was going on in 1939 in Nazi Germany. And the world is keeping silent. And you know how incensed this makes me. I've said things I probably shouldn't say, you know, on a show that's going out to nice, good people. But it angers me so much that I'm standing right here in the United States of America, and there are people chanting death to Israel, death to America, trying to stop Jewish students from entering their own campus for no reason other than the fact that they're Jewish, which is exactly what happened with Hitler. It's exactly what was going on with the totalitarian regime in Germany. And I know, Kobe, you told me you've had friends that have encountered, you said one of your friends has received death threats.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, I'm not the only Jewish student here that has gone out online, has gone in interviews, whether it's through local news stations, national, or just university publications, newspapers. And yes, I've had a friend that has received death threats online. I've heard of many other instances of many other people receiving death threats online. It's not just one. And not even that, I have friends receiving messages. There's a lot of friendships breaking here at USC because of this very polarized divide and I think a big part of that is that people don't really necessarily understand. This all really kind of started to escalate with here at USC with the valedictorian issue. How how the chosen valedictorian had a link on her social media page. And on this link, it states that Zionism is a settler, colonial, racist ideology. When really Zionist is just, to put it into simple terms, is the right to believe that the single Jewish nation on this planet can exist.
Yes.
And what these protests are trying to do is that they're trying to abolish the entire state of Israel.
Yes,
there has been many signs, there's been chants just blatantly saying it.
The other thing is too, everybody. When I look around at this and see what it is that Hamas did, we've seen the footage. All of you have seen it. You know that we lost soldiers in the unit that we've been supporting. We lost 18 of them in one day. And I remember that entire day. I think I cried for about 10 hours. Just these young men and women that we've been supporting, helping pay for what they need out there. A bunch of them were stationed at that kibbutz that got hit first. Some of them were right there on the border when it got broken. And we've lost so many. And when we look at it and, you're saying you hope they don't understand what the Intifada is. The truth of the matter is there's such horrendous lack of true information because people don't understand what it even means when they're chanting from the river to the sea. They don't seem to get that what they're calling for is eradication.
They don't even know what river to what sea.
They don't even know what river to what sea. And that's, a question that I've heard people ask is, do you understand what's in between the river and the sea?
Exactly.
And, I've said it so many times. It's something that a lot of these guys are saying is Israel is the canary in the mines. And it's this ideology, and we're fighting an ideology here. And it's the thing that I've said over and over, which is why I'm standing here on USC, campus here with Kobe. Too many people during the Holocaust were silent. There's a reason that I've got Holocaust. There's Holocaust righteous tattooed on my arm. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, for instance. This man, a lot of you know about him, a lot of you don't. He was a German who fought against Hitler and the regime, and ultimately he spent the entire time during the war saving Jews. And he could have pledged his allegiance and he didn't. He was part of 2 assassination attempts on Hitler that clearly and unfortunately failed. But he spent his entire time fighting for the Jews and rescuing so many. And the Nazis hung him 2 weeks before the war ended. They hung him in Dachau. And I just feel such a strong sense that it's our time as people who support Jews, who support Israel. We have to make our voices heard. And it's one of the reasons I admire what Kobe's doing so much, because I've seen this guy, his social media, he's constantly posting about things, showing what's going on and trying to show the world the truth of what's actually happening here. And we have to remember that this is an ideology, and it's an ideology of subjugation, and this is the ideology of genocide. I've spoke to another friend of mine, he runs the show with me, he's based in Jerusalem, and he said to me, if Israel was truly genocidal, the war would have ended on October 8th. But clearly they're not, because they're trying to save, the Israelis are trying harder to save Palestinian civilians than the Palestinians are.
Exactly, Israel is one of the most in that region is the most technologically advanced country, most westernized country, I don't want to say the most powerful country.
It is.
It is, but they have the abilities to do so many things. But we see with this war, we see that there are a lot of innocent civilian casualties. But when the terrorist organizations are hiding in between these civilians and they're strategically placing these hostages in specific places, it's just kind of like a no-win situation. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to watch your family be terrorized, have their limbs chopped off.
Exactly.
Basically be teared piece to piece. Your own people, not even just Israelis, there's Americans out there, there's peoples from all around the world that were taken hostage by Hamas on October 7th and since then. But what we've seen is Hamas countless times deny any ceasefire. Ceasefire could have happened months ago. But we just want the hostages that they took on October 7th back, and for some reason they refuse to give it back. And honestly, I don't think of any, I can't think of any valid reason of why. If you want a ceasefire, if you want to actually protect your innocent Palestinian civilians that are dying out there, that are being put in danger through this war, and you know, obviously the Israeli borders have to be closed, but there's also an Egyptian border, which a lot of people don't recognize that there is a way out, but clearly other countries also do not want to deal with Hamas if they don't need to.
They don't want to.
And
like, this is something we constantly say, you know, when you look at it, Jews make up less than 0.5% of the population. And when you look at what happened in Nazi times, 40% of the Jews around the world were killed. And now you're looking at it going, this is a tiny country. It's tiny. It is surrounded on every side by Arabs. And I'm saying this as an Arab. I'm saying this as somebody whose family escaped Lebanon because of Islamic persecution, where they were going through, and some of my family did get killed, and some of them got out and went to South Africa, and that's how come I'm South African as well. But when you look at this and go, Saudi Arabia doesn't want him, Jordan doesn't want him, Egypt doesn't want him, nobody does. Nobody is prepared to take on this group of people, because going back as far as when we think back to Yitzhak Rabin and the deals that were on the table back then, every single time there's been something that is more than sane, honestly, to offer, it's been rejected, because the desire of this ideology is to obliterate Jews.
It's Holocaust Remembrance Day on May 6th, the Yom HaShoah.
Yes.
And on this day, I mean, for me growing up in a very Jewish, went to a Jewish day school.
Yes.
I have a Jewish Israeli family. We're all Zionists, and I always grew up saying never forget on this day. I mean, we always say never forget, but especially on this day. And for me, I've never really had that like firsthand experience to really understand. I was born after 9/11. I never really understand the concept of this never forget. It's always just a saying.
It's what you
say.
Yes.
But since October 7th, I'm experiencing this firsthand, and I could really, really mean to say, never forget. And using the Holocaust as an example of why Israel should exist. I mean, the Jews, I mean, not even just Jews. 11 million people, 6 million of them of being Jews. But 11 million people were persecuted and exiled and just pushed away and slaughtered and killed. And these Jews, 6 million Jews had no place to go. There's no other Jewish nation in the country. And not like just about a decade after that, we have the creation of the state of Israel. The Jews finally had a safe place to go to where, God forbid, something like the Holocaust could happen again. What we're seeing here, all of this anti-Semitism devouring college campuses. Right now, the Jews do have this nation to go to, but what these people are fighting now is to get rid of that, our safe place. God, what if this keeps getting out of hand? What if this goes beyond the college campuses? I mean, it already has.
It already has,
but even more.
Where do the Jews go?
Where do we go? Where's our shelter to go to?
Where is your shelter to go to? And that's the thing that I've said so many times on the show, is that, you know, you're hearing things and seeing things of, oh, send them back to Poland. Oh, send them back here. We all know what happened the last time the Jews got sent on a train to Poland. Okay, and this is something I obviously feel very intensely about. I'm incredibly passionate about it. We're planning a trip to Israel, hopefully in June, God willing, to go and show you guys, you know, I'm going to be going to all the borders. We're going to be doing a whole lot of things. I'm hoping to be there with Kobe at the same time, because he's also going in June, and it would be great for us to be able to connect in Jerusalem over there. But, you know, I feel such an intense passion about this, because the Jews need that homeland. Obviously, you know, what we believe, what we see in the scriptures, whether you're looking at Numbers 34 or any of these, you know, whether you're looking at Levitical law, whether you're looking at the mandate that God gave, there were very specific borders given. This is the land that I've given to you. This is the land for my chosen people. And it's not expansionist. They're not trying to take over anywhere else. They're saying, just let us live in this tiny little bit of land where we can have our home, where we can have a safe place to go. And I know for me personally, a lot of my Jewish friends in South Africa are looking to get out because South Africa has become a hotbed of anti-Semitism, which is horrifying, but it's the reality of what we're facing. So Kobe, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
so
for,
amazing.
I'm so grateful for this guy. So, he's standing here, so pray for him. When you watch the show, pray for him, for his protection, for his friends, for his family, the same way that we do for all of our friends in Israel, for all of our Jewish brothers and sisters around the world. And don't forget, we're around the time now of the Holocaust Memorial Day that's nationally and globally recognized. Never forget. Now is a time more than ever for us not to forget and for us to be those people that don't just stand by and not say anything, but use our voices to bring awareness and truth. So thank you to everybody watching. Kobe, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, yes.
And God bless you guys. We'll see you next week on Israel Updates.
Do you have a God problem? This week on Real Life, Real Faith, we are going to do our best to attack topics and problems and real issues and apply biblical principles to those. And so you do not want to miss it this week on Real Life, Real Faith. Make sure that you go to real-faith.tv or follow the link down below, and we'll see you right there.
I'm excited to announce we're having a huge MyPillow spring sale, and here's a few examples. Buy one of our MyPillow 2.0s, you get another MyPillow 2.0 absolutely free. Made with cooling technology, the best pillow ever just got even better. And this just in, 9 brand new colors and styles of our Percale bed sheets. They're made with the finest long staple cotton, and now you can save 50% or more. That's as low as $24.98. And for the first time this year, I'm bringing you our My Slippers and Sandals for as low as $25 a pair. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your MyPillow 2.0s. Buy one, get one free. Percale sheets as low as $24.98. My Slippers and Sandals as low as $25 a pair. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships absolutely free.
We here at the House of Destiny are partnering with you to let our viewers, of course, know about your company. It's Beverly Hills Precious Metal.
Andrew, explain how that works.
So I'll walk you through it right now. So if you go to bh-pm.com, right there on the homepage, you'll see a form that you could fill out. And that form is very important in letting us know how we can help you. So you just put in your first name, last name, email address, phone number. There's a section that says, how did you hear about us? And in there, put Kim Clement. And then there's a portion where you could write a couple of notes down on the bottom. Usually within about 24 to 48 hours, we'll contact you by phone call, and then we'll go over everything with you. This isn't a high pressure deal. We always recommend that if you feel uncomfortable, take a step back, pray about it. You will gain the answers that you need by doing that, and come back to us when you're comfortable.